Hey game devs, Dan here with You Contribute Games, and in this video we're going to talk about updating the health bar text value. This is the numeric value that you're going to display to your players to let them know exactly how much health they have. Alright game devs, in this video we're taking a look at the health text box right here, and we're going to look at how we add that and how we get this value adjusted as the player plays our game. So first things first, let's look at how we get it added into the game. Well, within our scene hierarchy, we're going to right click, go to UI, and first we need to add a canvas because all UI components must reside as a child of a canvas on the game. All right, so once that canvas is added, we can then right click again, go back to UI, and add a text box. So this text box is going to have all of the functionality of being able to resize and adjust and position and lock it into the different corners and aspects of our canvas system. But what we're primarily concerned with is going to be this text value right here, because updating this is what's going to display our health value to our players. And we also want to look at, we can adjust that text size, but once we have that positioned and aligned just how we want to, we're just changing our health. As our player takes damage or gets healed, we're going to update this. So let's take a look at the code that makes that happen. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the update health text function. Now within this function, we're going to provide it a string value called display how, which is doing exactly what you would think that was. We're telling it how to display our health value, right? So within this function, we've set up a couple defaults, and you could add more if you like, but this is just to give it some versatility as we go from character to character and from game to game, making our health manager very versatile and reusable across multiple games, multiple characters, because again, we're building a tool to add to our game design toolbox. So we have four options here. We have one that will display an integer value, one that will display a float or decimal value, one that's going to display a percentage with a decimal on it, and one that's just going to display the integer portion as a percentage, right? So let's take a look at how that works. So we have our health text value. Now that is the text value we were looking at just a second ago, where we were updating the value within our text box in the inspector window. That .text is just a reference to it, and we have that health text variable set up within the health manager so that we can go to our health manager in the scene hierarchy, drag and drop the text box that we created into that variable, and then use that health text variable as a reference directly to that text box that we created in the scene, right? So then we can simply say health text equals and set that value to whatever we want. So within the integer function, we're saying, we're using the math.truncate function to truncate the decimal portion of our current health, and then we're going to assign that as a string value so that we can place that into the text box. For the float option, it's a one-to-one carryover because our current health is a float value, so it has the decimals already. We simply say the text value of our health text box is going to be equal to the current health in string format, right? That's what that toString on the end is for. And for our percentage options, for the float percent, we are simply doing a straightforward division of the current health by the max health in order to get that percentage, and then multiplying that by 100 to move our decimal place over 2, right? It gives us that nice round big percentage we're looking for. And then we convert that into a string with the toString function and concatenate or add on that percentage symbol at the end so that it looks like a percent in the text box the player sees. For the percent in, we are performing that same math, but we're using the math.truncate just like we did in the plain integer version to truncate off whatever's beyond the decimal and just show that percentage amount. If the update health text function does not recognize the display how string that's provided to it, meaning it's basically saying, okay, you told me you wanted to display the health in a certain way, but I don't know how that is. It's just going to simply tell you in the debug log, the value supplied to the health manager.update text is not one of the available options, indicating that, all right, you've made a typo, or you thought you added in an option to this function that you haven't added yet. So it gives you a clue as to where to go check and what to look at. And then it's not going to update that text value. So that's a good first place to look if you start noticing your health value is not updating. You may have typed that wrong somewhere else where you're calling update health text. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave this up on the screen real big for all of you folks that are following along, typing this up into your own Health Manager. But if you'd like to get your own copy of the Health Manager demo, including the script in its entirety, all the art, all the buttons, all the text boxes, all of the awesome, go ahead and click that link right here, click down in the description, and you will get your own copy of that. Hey, whoa. They're still here. They're still here. What do we do? Oh yeah, go announcer on them. That about wraps us up, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Health Manager tutorial series where we talked about how to update your text box. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Head over to youcontributegames.com for even more content. Later!